that is going to be a bomb wedding for sure. So I'm happy for Alicia finally. Well, I mean, I'm happy, but I'm like, this guy, I know she's been with him for a long time, but I'm like, I don't like how he played my girl Alicia with the proposals and all the stuff and like the business and the shares and the pizza mama and the ownership. Like, I don't like that. So I'm like, I don't know. But I'm happy for Alicia. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel, and over here we talk about everything reality TV, pop culture, and just everything that's going on in the world. So today we have a review, and we're going to be talking about the season finale of The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, okay? This is season 1, episode 12. Guys, this is the end. This is the end. I have been watching the show since the beginning. I know I've only started reviews, I think, from episode 10, but trust me, I know what's going on. I've been here the whole time. Okay. The episode opens up with everybody's basically packing to go to Block Island. Kelsey has planned this trip for everybody to go to Block Island as a end of summer trip. So we see that Liz, she gives Kelsey a call. Kelsey, she opens it up, right? She's like, so how do you feel about Joellen being there? And like, what's going on with that? Like, how are you feeling about that? And Liz is basically like, whatever happens, happens. And she's just basically on a mission to have a good time, and she doesn't want any problems. Her mindset is to go there and not let certain things bother her, and get to a certain place, like where things are getting taken too far. So she hopes that Joellen is on the same tip. Like, she hopes Joellen is pretty much on the same vibe. So Kelsey's saying, you know what, everybody is in need of a nice summer vacation. And she's like, you know what, if I can make up with Rosie, then listen, everybody else should be able to make up. Because, her and Rosie, so. Now's the day of the vacation, and everyone's starting to show up to the dock. First to arrive is Rosie and her husband. And, Rosie, she's just basically making it clear, like, she is not friends with Kelsey, and she really just wants to have a good time, and she is fine with just coexisting with her and being with the other girls. That's fine. Liz and her husband show up. I think his name is Gary, and then Joellen and her husband show up, and Joellen, she goes and she walks and she gives everyone a hug, including Liz. And it was kind of awkward because Liz was looking like she didn't even want to hug her at all, but Joellen, she was a bigger person. She went in, she gave her a hug, and Liz was kind of like, Liz was trying to say that Joellen's hug was like like a standoffy hug, and I'm just like, no, it wasn't. Joellen came up to you and she gave you a hug. You're the one that was looking standoffish, like you don't want to give her a hug, but that's that. So Joellen, she is in her confessionals and she's saying like the goal of her coming on the trip is to make up with Liz, because she doesn't want to fight with Liz anymore. Joellen, she compares her and Liz's relationship to an abusive relationship. But this is not the first time we heard this, because you remember a few episodes ago, Alicia, why do I keep calling her Alicia? Alicia said that Liz was abusive. So that's two people now from the group saying that. I can't believe she compared her relationship with Liz to being an abusive relationship. It's crazy. She goes on to say it's kind of like, the relationship she had with her mother, and saying like, she was wanting love and begging for love and wanted everybody to love her, and just wanting to have that loving feeling from her mother. But then, if something happened, she would get pushed away. Her mom would push her away, and like, she'd be saying very mean and nasty, awful things to her. So that's basically how she compared her relationship with Liz, which is crazy to me. At this point, everyone's there except for Rulla and her husband. So everyone's like, "Where's Rulla? Where's Rulla?" But then they eventually show up, Rulla and her husband. Rulla, she's kind of apprehensive about being on the island with Joellen. She just doesn't want anything to go wrong, because her whole summer has been pretty much turned upside down. And Joellen, being the one who was in the business a lot and coming forth with proof of her husband's affair, has just been a lot for Rulla. So she really just wants to have some peace. They're finally on the boat. They're on the way to Block Island, and everybody's enjoying it. Now Jared, he is getting a little bit of motion sickness because that's how he is. You know, some people get it. Now they're on the beach. Like they land on Block Island. Block Island is the Caribbean, okay, of Rhode Island, apparently. Apparently. That's how they feel. It's their Caribbean in their backyard, okay? So they're there, they landed, they're on the beach, and they all head over to the lounge area to, like, you know, chill out and have a few drinks. It's really cold though. It was really windy and the waters were really rough. Like, I know for sure nobody could go in those waters. Like, when they arrived, the waters were really rough. Like, I was like, they're all chilling in the lounge area, and right off the bat, Joellen wastes no time. She approaches Liz and she's like, "Hey, can we go take a walk and, like, you know, can we talk? Because, you know, they have things to talk about." And Liz is like, "Okay, sure." Joellen, she starts off by saying, like, you know, lots of things were said, like, basically, like, you said some things, I said some things, and you know, she wants to have this reconciled. But she was like, you know, she asks Liz a question. She's like, "Do you genuinely consider me like your friend, a friend, right?" And Liz, she does say yes. Joellen, she's happy to hear that Liz considers her a friend. She was like, she was she was in her head about it. She was like, you know, she didn't know what to feel because Liz literally said that she was never a friend to her. So Joellen is feeling good about that being cleared up. Joellen wants to move past everything that has happened. Liz wants to do the same as well. She doesn't really want to rehash anything. Joellen's telling Liz, like, there's some things that you said that I'm sure you did not mean to say. Like, that's what she's saying to Liz, right? And Liz is like, yeah, exactly. But there's some things that you said as well to me. Like, basically saying the same thing. Like, there's some things that you said to me that I'm sure you didn't mean to say. I'm like, what did she say? What did Joellen say to Liz that was... She didn't say anything. Liz's main problem with Joellen was that she kept touching her through the whole incident, like trying to calm her down, and that she didn't express enough to Alicia that her heart was in a good place and she's a good person. I don't know what Liz is talking about. This is what I'm saying. Like, Liz can't take accountability. Like, she wants to place some blame on Joellen, but whatever. Joellen, she accepts it and she's like, yes, that's true, whatever. Like, we both said some things that we didn't need to say, and, you know, we want to get through this and we want to get past it. Liz, she gets a little bit, well, she gets emotional and to me a bit dramatic because she was saying, like, you know, you were saying that I put my hands on you and that's where it gets dangerous because I guess it means, like, you're implying like something, right? Nobody wants to be known as somebody who just puts their hands on somebody. So, you know, Liz is feeling a way about that. But I'm like, girl, you did though. You did. You put your hands on her. Well, you tugged her hair, like you pulled her hair, which I guess is considered that, and you like pushed her like halfway across the room when she was in the chair. Okay, maybe not halfway across the room, but like you shoved her and her chair was rolling. I was rolling like she was on one of those work chairs that has the wheels on the bottom. Liz is concerned about her image, but it's like, okay, so look within and fix that so the outer image doesn't come off like how it's coming off. Simple. But she doesn't want to do that. Liz is saying that Joellen kept touching her throughout the whole incident and she knew that would piss Liz off, so that's why she kept doing it. And Joellen's like, no, that's not the case. She's like, you're wrong. You're wrong. I was just trying to help and I was just trying to calm you down. That's why I was like, girl, calm down. At the same time, I do get it. Like, I get it. Like, if you are heated and somebody is in your face and they're trying to like touch you and calm you down, and I know it could feel suffocating and like they are not letting you be, but I don't think that was Joellen's intention. Like, she wasn't trying to piss Liz off. She was like, girl, calm down because like you're doing a lot. That's what she was doing. So again, Liz, no. Boo. Boo, Liz. No. Liz is telling Joellen, she's like, you know, things were said on both ends by both parties that have pretty much broken trust, right? So she's like, she wants to build the relationship from scratch. Like, she wants to start all over again, a fresh new start, and build the relationship from ground up. But Joellen's like, no. She's like, I don't want to start from scratch. She's like, I want to start from where we are, like go back to where we were and build on that and like do better, right? And I mean, I agree with Joellen because I'm like, what really happened that was so detrimental for you to want to start your relationship from scratch? Because the girl didn't say you had a pure heart? Like, grow up, Liz. Stop. Joellen has already admitted that she really wants Liz's friend shit so bad. Yeah, you heard what I said. But so these girls, they hug and make up, right? Liz says, they're both willing to work on their friendship and build it up, and see things on the positive side. Liz is giving Joellen compliments, like, she's telling her why she likes her, like she's charismatic, she's nice, she's funny. They hug it out and they agree on making things better between them and making their friendship better and stronger. Now we see Rulla and the rest of the girls. They are chilling in the lounge area under the umbrellas or whatever. And Rulla's telling them that she hasn't been around as much, and like, it's because she wasn't feeling well, like she was having health problems and things like that. So Rosie, she's like, so where do you think all the stress was coming from? Rosie is not playing, okay? She asked her the right question. Rulla says that it's coming from work and people digging into her marriage. That's been causing her the stress, and that's what's been making her sick, which has made her not be able to be around the group and attend like certain events and things like that. They're asking Rulla if she's spoken to Joellen, and she said no, she hasn't spoken to Joellen since the polo match, right? And that was like way like beginnings of the season, and she hasn't spoken to her since then. Rulla's basically saying that like there's always a story behind the story, and like when you're collaborating behind people's back to stir up like drama and rumors and information and things like that, like that's just not cool, and she doesn't like it, and that's like a part of why she's stressed, right? I guess she's implying that's what Joellen has been doing. Rosie's like, listen, Rosie with the questions, okay? Stop playing with Rosie. Stop playing with her. Rosie's like, okay, so at the polo match, I could have sworn that you told Joellen if she has proof to bring it. Like, I want to see the proof. And she did, because Joellen did say, listen, I have proof, and if you want it. So she's been doing that, right? So Rosie clocked that, and Rulla, she's like, well, I did give her a chance, but like when she had the information, like, she didn't come to me privately and let me know that she had the information. She's basically like, she went to everybody else. She was not private with it. She was sharing it with everybody else, and it came off as disingenuous. So that is what I guess kind of turned Rulla off of wanting to listen to what Joellen had to say regarding the accusations of her husband having an affair. Rosie does agree with Rulla's point. Like, she's like, I would be upset too if everybody kept talking about it, and it seemed disingenuous. But she's like, listen, at the end of the day, she's like, I would still want to know what was going on. Like, I would still want to see this proof, right? And in Rosie's confessional, she's like, you know what? She's like, we are coming to a realization, like the group, the girls, we are coming to a realization that Rulla does not care about the information. Like, she is not going to accept the information, basically, that is being brought to her about her husband's cheating. Rosie's like, listen, this girl does not want to accept reality. So, hey, Rulla claps back and she's like, listen, if you're my friend, you're going to mind your business and let me handle it the way that I handle it. After you tell somebody 1-2 times that their spouse is cheating on them and they don't want to hear it, and you see that they're moving different, or they're moving like in delusion and acting like, they're acting like what you're showing them is not valid, listen, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Stop coming to them with it. And I agree with Rulla in that sense. It's like, because even when I was watching the show, I'm like, why isn't Joellen just leave her alone? Okay, you proved it. Y'all, stop talking about it. This lady knows, like I said before, she knows, and just let the man cheat in peace. So at this point, Liz and Joellen, they rejoin the group, and they have made up, and everybody knows, and everybody's happy about it. We get to see some husbands, and it is, I don't even know the husband's names, to be honest with you, not really like that. Joellen's husband and Alicia's husband, and they're talking. Alicia's husband is talking to Joellen's husband, and he's like, listen, I want to do something special for Alicia because I feel like I've dropped the ball over these years, and like I feel like I'm letting her down. And he's trying, and he wants to do like a re-proposal to her, right? Because I guess he proposed before, like they didn't go through with it, and Alicia did not like the way how he did the proposal, so they never got married. So this is something that he wants to do because Alicia doesn't think that he's romantic, and apparently he doesn't do anything romantic, right? Joellen's husband's not really giving him any type of advice. He's like, I thought you were romantic. You're the most romantic guy. Ha ha. He has nothing to tell this man. He has no advice. Basically, he's just like going along with it. And he's like, do what you got to do. I'm sure she's gonna love it. And that's basically it. Alicia, she has already told us, but she's saying again that like, her husband isn't romantic and he knows how she is. She's romantic. She's a girly girl. She loves all the girly girl things and the diamonds and the sparkles and the pinks. She loves a good fairy tale, right? And that's what she wanted. And that's basically how she wanted her proposal to be, like a fairy tale and special and memorable, and like he put some thought into it, but he didn't. She tells us of the story of how like he actually proposed, and it was weird. She was saying that she was sick, she had bronchitis. Like, are you okay? What's wrong with her husband? Get it together. Like, I understand you're not romantic, but don't do that. That's foul as hell. And he was wrong. I wouldn't have married him either, because that's some bullshit. She was sick, she was in bed, she had bronchitis, and she was like, all she could hear is her husband yelling, hey, Alicia, come over here and look at this. That's all she could hear. So she finally gets up and she goes over, and like by her dresser, on her dresser, there's a ring and stuff, like a ring, and it's like kind of set up or whatever. And she's like, okay. And she just picked up the ring and she put it on, and that was it. And I'm just like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'm extremely glad that she did not go through with that, because that is just no effort at all. And my girl was sick with bronchitis. Stop playing with me. So, he wants to redo that, and I'm glad he's going to redo it, so we'll see. Alicia's husband lets Joellen's husband know that he's going to re-propose at the beach, and he just wants to make it simple and cute. So that's his plan. Rulla's letting the girls know that she's so happy to be at Block Island since she hasn't been around them, and she's been missing like everything, so she's really happy to be there. So Liz asked Joellen like, hey, like, is there anything you want to like talk to Joellen about, like specifically, like what do you have on your mind, right? And Rulla's saying like, she wants to bring up the video. She's like, basically like that wasn't her right to show everybody the video. Rulla wanted to handle it like her way. So now it's Alicia, Rosie, and Joellen. They're sitting, they're like talking and everything like that. And Rosie, she tells Joellen that she brought up the video to Rulla. She's like, listen, like I couldn't hold it in no more. I couldn't hold the secret. Everybody was talking about her, so I had to let her know, listen, Joellen showed us the video at the castle. So Rosie's giving her the tea, right? She's like, I told her about the video and what I seen on the video, and without her even seeing the video, Rulla's already talking about, oh, the video's fake. The video's fake. Joellen's like, how does she know it's fake? Or how could she even say it's fake if she didn't even look at the video? Which is true. Rosie's telling her as soon as like she basically spills the beans, not too long after that, Brian, is that Rulla's husband's name? He comes up and he's like, hey, like, he comes up and he's like, hey, what's going on? And immediately Rosie, she tells him, and this is what she's telling Joel, and she's like, I told him, like, there's the video, we've seen the video, and this is what we've seen. And, as Brian does, he's brushing it off. He's like, she let him know he wasn't trying to hear that, and basically not admitting to anything. Joel, and she's really feeling a way about how, like, this whole situation's gone down, because she's like, Rulla asked me for proof, I bring her proof, and now, like, I'm a liar. And she doesn't want to be known as a liar. She's like, I'm not a liar. I gave her the proof. She asked for it, right? So she's not lying. That's true. Joellen is just really like, she does not want to be the fall guy for this whole cheating drama, right? She doesn't want to be responsible for cheating gate. she brought the proof. She was asked for the proof, and she brought the proof. That's it. That's all, right? She's just upset and annoyed that everybody's like talking about her and talking crap about her and making it seem like Joellen is the reason for the fall of their marriage when it's not, right? She just wants it to stop. Rosie does make a good point. She's like, well, it's easier for Rulla to blame everybody else but her actual husband, right? It's easy to blame you because you brought the proof. It's easy to blame the mistress because she's a mistress. But like, she's blaming everybody else except for the person who's actually causing the harm, which is her husband, which is true. She's definitely not holding him accountable, or at least we are not seeing her hold him accountable in the show at all. Kelsey suggests that Rulla and Joellen sit down and have a talk. Like, she's like you guys just need to talk and hash it out because this has gone too far now, right? Rulla's saying that they've already tried that and it didn't really get anywhere. It's like the same thing. So she's like, I don't really see a reason to sit down and talk, right? So she suggests, she's like, you know what? How about you guys like relay the message to her and let her know, like, I'm not feeling comfortable and I don't feel ready to talk to her right now, right? Liz immediately shuts that down. Okay, Liz is like, absolutely not. She's like, I will not. She's like, you relay it to her from your own mouth in your own words. She's like, we're not doing that for you. She's like, you need to do that yourself. And I 1000% agree with Liz. Like, speak up, Rulla. Like, what are you doing? Speak up. She's there. She's on the island. Nobody's saying you guys have to fight, but let her know how you feel and how she went about things you did not like. That's it. That's it. Nobody needs to go back and forth. Like, you guys are adults. You're all there. Handle your business. Do your big one. Do your big one. Joellen's at the point where she's like, listen, I gave that girl the proof. That's it. That's that. I don't want to talk about it no more. Like, case closed. Okay? She's over it. Couples, they're at the Atlantic Inn. They get their keys to the rooms, and now they're all checking in and like unpacking all their things in the room. They show Joellen and her husband, and she lets him know that her and Liz made up, and she's happy they made up because she was really sad that they were on bad terms, but they're good now. Telling her husband that Rulla's husband is still continuing on with the affair. He continues to cheat, and basically Joellen's mad that Rulla is calling her a liar about everything. She just wants her name to be clear because all she did was bring her the proof, and that's what she asked for. We see Alicia and her husband. They're going outside to the beach, and Alicia looks all cute, and she's like, hey, where are we going? Where are we going? Where's everybody? Like, because nobody's there, right? It's just her and her husband, and he takes her to the beach, and he takes her to this spot where there's like 2 chairs, there's candles, there's roses, and it's just like a cute little simple setting. Like he said, it was simple. Okay, it was simple, a simple setting, and they sit down there. Shocked and surprised, she's like, wow, this is for me? Like, she's like, you never do this. Like, she keeps saying it. She's like, you never do anything like this for more. She's like, you never like surprise me. You never do anything like this. Like, she's so surprised and taken back. Her husband gets into telling her, like, they've had an interesting journey. He's saying, like, there were good times, bad times, scary times, but like, nonetheless, they're still here and they love each other. He lets her know, like, I was thinking about when you're telling me about the reproposal and how I wasn't like taking it seriously. But he's like, in the end, like when he thought about it, he's like, damn, like, I should take it seriously. And he felt bad for not doing that. Alicia, classic Alicia fashion. She cuts him off. She's like, Billy, is that his name? Billy. She's like, I really love you. And, everything that we've been through. And like, she's like, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here. She's like, I wouldn't be here. I'd be gone by now because, a lot of guys like me. Alicia's so cute. And I believe her. I believe the guys love Alicia, okay? He continues, he's like, so we're not getting any younger. And she's like, yeah, we're not. Alicia's something else. Funny how that it happens because he's getting ready to like basically propose and she's sitting down, right? So he's like, okay, he's like, you should stand up. And she's like, no, she's like, you need to get on your knee. So she still stays seated and he gets on his knee. And, it's so funny because he was so rough taking off the ring. I know he didn't mean it, but he took off the ring. He got on his knee, he proposed, re-proposed to her, and put the ring back on. It was so cute. And some of the couples, they actually seen them from their bedrooms, right? They were like cheering them on and stuff like that. Even before he actually re-proposed, when they were just talking, some of them were cheering, like Rosie and her big mouth. I know she was happy, but she was cheering. Her man was like, "Girl, shut up." He's like, "Let them enjoy the moment." For real. I agree with him. Like, girl, shh. We didn't need to do all that. Her and Ashley were doing it. But I understand they were really happy, but it's like, let him propose first. Let it be done. Then cheer. Don't interrupt. That's all I'm saying. And that's all Rosie's husband was saying. So he proposes. It's good. Alicia's so happy. She says it's the best thing he's ever done for her. She cannot wait to tell her aunties and mom. And I know they're going to be just elated, right? They're going to be jumping for joy. They're going to be so happy, and that is going to be a bomb wedding for sure. So I'm happy for Alicia finally. Well, I mean, I'm happy, but I'm like, this guy, I know she's been with him for a long time, but I'm like, I don't like how he played my girl Alicia with the proposals and all the stuff, and like the business and the shares and the pizza mama and the ownership. Like, I don't like that. So I'm like, I don't know. But I'm happy for Alicia. Rosie and her husband, they meet up with Alicia and her husband at the bar. They're congratulating them, and Rosie's so happy for her. And Alicia, she's like, I need a second band. Like, I need a second ring. Like all the other girls. She's like, where's my second one? And Billy's like, girl, calm down. He's like, you got to actually wait for the wedding to get that. Well, Brian, he joins the rest of the couples downstairs at the bar and congratulate Rosie and her husband. Sorry, not Rosie. Congratulate Alicia and her man. And Joellen, she decides to go to Rulla's room so they can have a talk, right, in private. She gets to Rulla's room. Rulla lets her in. They compliment each other, right? They both look cute in their dresses, and they start to talking. Joellen tells Rulla that she wants to clear the air, and she's basically saying that she did not want to overstep her boundaries. All she was trying to do was give Rulla the proof, right? The proof that Rulla was like, okay, well, show me. Rulla's basically like, well, it's the way that you went about it, right? The way that the information was presented, she did not like how it was presented. And she had to ask Joellen, like put yourself in my shoes, right? If this was happening to you and this information was presented to you in the way that you did it to me, like, would you like it? Absolutely not. Joellen would beat everybody up. We know that. Because we know Joellen is not to be played with. So Joellen doesn't want to bother her, but she's just basically like, listen, your man Brian keeps calling me a liar, and I'm not a liar. So I want that to stop. Like, everything I said and presented was truthful. Rulla's like, are you sure everything that you told us was truthful? Joellen's like, yes. At the bar, we see that Joellen's husband, he pulls Brian aside. That's Rulla's husband. And he goes to have a talk with him, right? So he's like, listen. He's like, I hear that you keep calling my wife a liar, and she's not a liar. She's not a liar. Like, why you keep calling her a liar when she's not lying? Brian, he basically folds, right? He's like, I'm not calling her a liar, and she's not a liar. He admits to Joellen's husband that he has been cheating, that the video is real. Nobody needs to check the dates. Nobody needs to check the timestamps like they were trying to say. It's real. And he said that he messed up, and it was the worst mistake that he ever did in his life. So that just spilled out of his mouth. So it's like, if that's the case, why was all this stuff happening throughout the season? Like, I get that Joellen did a lot, but it's like, why would you put your wife through all just anyways, like, I just feel like it was unnecessary, all this stuff. Now they go back to the girls, right? Joellen, she's like reminding Rulla, she's like, listen, you wanted the proof, so I showed it to you, right? She's like, if you want to see it, it's available. If not, then that's up to you. But like, I don't want to be called a liar. I got you the proof that you asked for. That's that. Rulla's husband is trying to figure out how and why. He's saying he doesn't know why he was cheating and stuff. He doesn't know if it's because he's mid-age, like, I guess midlife crisis, or if he's taking too many hormones. That's what he's saying. That's his excuse. I don't know what's wrong with him. He just wants to cheat. That's what I said. Let him cheat. Just, Rulla, if you're saying let him cheat. Stop asking questions. Like, stop. Just stop. Just They're going to stop talking about it. Like, Joellen, her husband, Rulla, and her husband. They're going to stop talking about it. It's over. It's done. Joellen's not a liar. He's not going to call her a liar. But he wants everybody, Brian wants everybody to stop talking about it. It's over. And I agree. It's over. Stop talking about it. Leave it alone. Joellen's husband goes back to the group at the bar, right? And this man, he just spills the beans. Like, obviously, though, right? He's like, listen, he's like, Brian just admitted to me that he was cheating and the video is real. All the girls clutch their pearls. They're like, oh, what? Just like that. Just like that. He told the husband. So I don't understand why all this was going on, but he let everybody know that Brian told the truth, finally. The group goes outside to have a clam bake, so they're about to eat and everything. But it's so windy, man. It's windy and cold, and the girls are complaining. They get the heaters and everything by them, so I guess it's all right, but it still looks pretty rough and pretty cold. Nonetheless, they're out there. They're going to have a nice clam bake dinner. Alicia, she tells Liz and Kelsey how Billy re-proposed to her because they didn't see. Like, some of them didn't see through the window, so they found out and they were happy for her and they congratulated her. So now they're going to play a game. Kelsey brings a game and it's called Clamshell Confessions or something like that. I don't know, but there's these questions that she's going to pick from a box, or people pick from a box, and they have to read it out loud. And either the person who reads the question, they can answer it, or they can pass it on to their spouse or somebody else. That's how the game works, I think. Liz gets a question. She's like, okay, tell the group something about you that we don't know, but we should. And Jared answers the question, but his answer was so lame and annoying. Oh my gosh. He's like, I'm from Rhode Island and I love Rhode Island. It's like, man, we already know that. Like, boy, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. Jared and Ashley, I mean, they can go. They can go. As far as I'm concerned, they can go. Sorry. I don't know if we need them next season. Maybe we need somebody new. But it might be too new to do that. But it's like, okay. Alicia gets a question, and hers is, tell us an experience that you shared with somebody that you loved and it was memorable, right? During the summer or whatever. And she mentioned Liz at the castle, and she mentioned Rosie because she cussed off Rosie and Rosie accepted it. She took it like a champ, and then they made up after that. Rulla gets a question, and tell me why this could not be a coincidence. How did Rulla get this question? Anyways, Rulla's question was, has there ever been a time that your spouse has embarrassed you in public or something like that? Are we for real? Who gave that lady that question? That was wrong. Don't do that. I don't believe that was a coincidence. I feel like, I couldn't. Everybody's like, what? And I think Alicia's like, it's God. It's God. Like, you're supposed to answer the question. It's God. Alicia, stop. I just can't believe she got that question. And I'm like, I didn't like that. So the question was redirected. Joellen's husband ends up answering the question, which I thought was like good. Because I'm like, why are we doing this again? The lady just broke down. The man already admitted to it. Everybody already knows about the video. Everybody knows about the cheating. Everybody knows about the blonde lady, the mistress. Why is that question even in there? Anyways, and Rulla gets it, of all people. Like, you guys are on some BS. So the question was redirected to Joellen's husband, and it was like, does Joellen embarrass you? And he said no. And I think Joellen's like, yeah, I do embarrass him, but yeah. He said no. Kelsey's question was, is there somebody in the group that would stab you in your back and smile in your face? She asked Rulla to answer the question, and Rulla says, you know what, like, in the beginning of the summer, she's like, I would say that would be Joellen, but now that we're here and now that we have hashed things out and we had our talk, she's like, no, she doesn't believe anybody in the group would do such a thing, so the answer is no. Rulla says that she thinks the group is going to do fine moving forward, and she truly believes that nobody would ever do something like that, and she hopes that, like, it wouldn't get to that, like, anybody in the group would, like, be like that, right? And Alicia's just like, Alicia's just reassuring her, like, no, like, we have your back, like, we're not going to do that. Brian chimes in and he agrees. He says, like, even though all the things that have happened, he is proud of how his wife had handled the situations and how she handled things and everything that was thrown at her. And he also thanked the group. He also thanked the group for making them the most popular couple. Boy, you're not the most popular couple for a good reason. Damn. How about you cheers to being the best couple for a good reason? You're not. Everything surrounding you is cheating. You need to change that. That's not a flex. Stop it, Brian. While they're at the table, like, they're all talking, and Rulla gets to get into her speech. Great summer with lots of ups and downs. She started to cry while she was talking, and Alicia, she started to comfort her, and, Rulla's just trying to say, like, nobody's perfect, and no, like, relationship is perfect. And Alicia's like, yeah, Joellen, tell her. She's like, tell her. Tell her that nothing's perfect. Alicia, bless her heart. Rulla continues with, like, even in the most perfect of situations, like, you never know what could happen. You never know what could come in or what could happen that can just turn that around. Like, listen, you always want to know that the people closest to you are actually supporting you and have your back. Alicia, she's still calling out Joellen. She's like, Joellen, tell her you had her back. Tell her you had her back. And you weren't trying to manipulate things. You weren't trying to, like, ruin her, right? Joellen's like, no. She's like, I genuinely have your back, Rulla. Rosie, she steps in. She's like, Joellen, it's not your fault. She's like, it's not your fault. It's not the mistress's fault. It's not Rulla's fault. She's like, it's the man sitting next to me, which is Gary. Is that his name? Which is Brian. Which is Rulla's husband. She's like, it's his fault. So, like, you can relax. Like, it's not you, honey. It's the man. So Brian, he's telling Rulla, like, he's comforting her. He's saying, like, how proud he is of her, how strong she is, and how, like, she put her ego aside while going through all this nonsense. Rulla's like, ego? Like, what ego? He's like, well, maybe I meant to say pride. You put your pride aside. This man does not know what to say. He's an idiot. He just seems like he doesn't even know how to talk. I'm being honest. It was her pride she set aside for the good of the family. That's what Brian said. Idiot. Liz is like, in her confessional, she's trying to figure out, like, is she in denial? Because, like, what's going on? Liz is saying, like, she doesn't even think that Rulla would divorce this man. She's like, it's so far gone that, like, she wouldn't even divorce him. So she doesn't even know what to think. She's like, it's always easier to blame everybody else or someone else except for the actual perp themselves, which is, in this case, Rulla's husband. Alicia, she's saying, listen, that it's over, it's done, the whole situation has been put in the ocean and it's drowned now, okay? Alicia and her sayings, I cannot with her. Her husband's telling her, like, be quiet, stop talking, like, you did an awesome job, stop talking, like, Alicia's like, boy, be quiet. She's like, I'm gonna talk. She's like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Like, I'm gonna talk. Like, don't tell me not to talk. Like, what? You can't tell Alicia not to talk, especially she had a few drinks in her. Alicia gonna talk, okay? Let her talk. Kelsey, she jumps in and she says, the reason why she brought everybody out and wanted to do this trip to Block Island was for this moment, like the moment they're having right now of everybody, spilling their feelings, everybody making up and just hashing everything out. She's like, this is why I wanted to have everybody come here. And she's like, I just wanted everybody to have a good end of summer. Like, she wanted the summer to close out beautifully, right? On the right note. And she did that. Kelsey, she's sitting over there thinking that her and Liz are in a good place and everything is cool beans, right? Rosie's sitting over there like, That's how Rosie's sitting over there. But, like, Liz, she clocks it. She's like, yeah, she's like, because Kelsey was saying something like, me and Rosie, we got over our issues or whatever, right? And we're good now. Basically, that's what she's saying. Rosie's is like, I don't know about that. Liz clocks that. She's like, Rosie, she's like, She's like, you don't look too convinced about that. Like, you don't look like you're on the same page with that. So I'm like, yeah. She said what she said. She said they can coexist. She said that girl's not my friend. I'm not her friend. She's standing on it. Okay? Yes, Rosie. It's basically the end credits. Like it's the end where they give you like a blurb of like how the housewives are doing after the show. Rosie's home is still under construction. So is her friendship with Kelsey, and she still does not want to have any children. Joellen and her mom continue to work on the relationship. They're still trying to build it. She says that her and Rulla have agreed to let bygones be bygones and leave everything in the past. But Joellen still talks or is in contact with the mistress of Rulla's husband. Liz and Dolores, they are launching their menopause gummies soon, so that's interesting. Her husband has also stopped with the sports fishing, so he's home a lot more now, and they can spend a lot more time together. And also, Liz is welcoming a new granddaughter and a son-in-law because one of her stepdaughters got married, so that's nice. Kelsey and Bill's relationship is continuing to grow, and apparently Kelsey's growing as well because she is paying her own bills, and those bills are growing because her ex-man or ex-sugar baby, he no longer pays for her rent anymore. So she's starting to learn to be an adult, and Bill is there helping her write a check. Ashley, she's still getting her brand deals on social media, and she continues to make her living that way. And Jared, he is still at Audrey's, and it looks like it's still going. Like he's not, it doesn't look like it's closed or he's planning on closing it anytime soon. However, the lease is still up in winter. I'm sorry. And in that clip, they showed like the small little baby. I don't even know if maybe he's one. They have a birthday party for him, and like, they're trying to get him to blow out the candles or whatever, and it just freaked him out, right? I'm just like, why does a 1-year-old need such a big party? There's so many people there. It was so loud. It's like, can you guys, like, all you really needed was like your immediate family, like grandma, grandpa, brother, sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why is there so many people there? And the baby would start freaking out. That baby, like, you know, it's like Ashley's anxiety just onto the baby, and then the baby's overstimulated with all that noise, and like, I'm like, anyways, so that happened. Alicia and her husband are planning their wedding, so that's nice. She is also more involved in the Pizza Mama business and being creative with it. That's also really good. And she's also working on coming out with a cracker line, which is awesome. She loves her a cracker. She loves a cracker. And you know what? I love me some crackers too. So I would try her crackers. I would try Alicia's crackers. Rulla, she has decided to forgive her husband with all the nonsense and the cheating that has gone on. And she just hopes that, like, you know, moving forward, things will be better and they can move on. After, like, the closing out, like, blurbs, when they went, like, what I just did, like, when they tell us, like, what the housewives are up to after filming. Rulla's husband was apparently charged with domestic violence, but it wasn't physical, Rulla said. In Rhode Island, if you put a tracker on your spouse's vehicle, or if you track them or whatever, that is considered like domestic violence. So that is what happened. Apparently, Rulla's husband had put a tracking device on her vehicle. And one day she went to BMW and she's like, I think I'm being tracked. And the dealership told her, like, we can't touch that. Like, we can't do anything for you. We can't help you. You need to go to the police. She went to the police station, and in fact, it was a tracker, and they found out it was her husband. No good. No good. For sure, her husband's tracking her so he can keep track of where she is, so he can gallivant all around town with his mistress without running into his wife, right? So if he has a mistress at their house and Rulla's at work, he has her tracking location. If she leaves, he can get her out of there, right? If they're at a restaurant or something that they frequent and he takes her there or whatever, he knows if Rulla is near or by or whatever, right? So that's just foul. It's like, Rulla, please get rid of that man. Like, because this is embarrassing. So the girls are all at Rulla's house and she's opening up and she's talking about it, and they're like, so what are you going to do? And like, was it domestic violence or whatever? And she's like, no, like, it's considered domestic violence, but like, he didn't put his hands on me or whatever. And everyone's just in shock because it's like, what is really going on here? Rulla's saying that she wants to get his mental health checked or something. I believe along those lines, like she's worried about him. But it's like, girl, worry about yourself because you were sick the whole season. You don't want to catch no sickness or what is it? Autoimmune disease over some man and his fucking shenanigans, and it's making you stress the hell out where you actually become sick. Like, stop it. Enough. You have children. You have a great career. You have support. Stop. Like, it's like, what are we doing? So this fool went to jail and he stayed there for a couple hours or something like that. The mistress went and picked him up. It's like, anyway, so that is the end of the season, y'all. The season is wild. The season was crazy. The girls are asking Rulla what she's going to do and she doesn't know. But she knows what she needs to do. She just needs to follow through. That's it, y'all. That is the season finale of The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Okay? That was season 1, episode 12 that we just reviewed. And listen, we are looking forward for the reunion. We need to see this reunion. All right. So you guys, leave all your thoughts and comments below. Let me know how you like the video. Let me know how you like the season of this Real Housewives franchise. All right. So you guys, thanks for joining me today. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.